Hello, welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you for joining today. Let's get right into the code cards. We're heading into the solar eclipse in April 8th. Let's go with that. Number 21 flipped in the deck, Divine Feminine. We've had quite a bit of that recently. Talking about our ability to be magnetic, to be receivers of information, blessings, knowledge. Under the deck, soul time. Yes, being receptive requires us to sit in the breath, in stillness, in solitude sometimes, in quietude, and to fill ourselves with the divine healing light of our intentions from a place of soul resonance, deeper than even the mundane heart, which can be swayed by the waters of emotions and egos, all of that justice and injustice that happens at the heart level. Alchemy. I love it when alchemy comes out with both the Divine Feminine and the Delight card. It'd be nice if they all three came out. Number 8, Alchemy. Gaia. She's been showing herself quite a bit recently. I'm looking at this and feeling the really watery realms of Gaia right now. When I usually see this, I talk mostly about the our connection with Mother Earth and the divine flow of elementals. But right now, I'm really sensing the waters that surround, and then these various circles being all things water-based, such as humankind and mammals and all these other two-legged, four-legged, winged, and finned beings, all connected to the waters that flow through all of our systems. And it's like those little systems that feed into a bigger system and then into a bigger system, nested frequencies being called out here. And so maybe we're in these first 3 cards being validated that some of our magical capacity, our chemical capacity to influence and shift and change things through our soulful connection, through our meditative practices, is by connecting to the element of water, as far as like the water that represents not only the, as I was calling out, the emotional realms of our heart-based flow with the opposing duality of the inner self. I want to kind of say, like, our inner waters are not as clear as perfection, because how could they be perfection? But there's something that seems unrelated, but I always have to have faith that those things are coming back in. There we go. Have faith. There comes the miracle. It's like if you don't understand something, by flowing with the waters of all humankind, maybe it's, I guess what I interrupted my flow of the earlier message was that we can connect deeply with other beings here on Earth, and something about utilizing our animal totems. And I want to let's get some totem cards, because I was looking at them both beforehand. I did a pre-shuffle on the Whispers of the Ocean, but right now I want to go into this, Spirit of the Animal Oracle deck. It's a newer one to me. Let's get some animal totems for the viewers. And this may or may not resonate, but, take it as you will. You may have some type of automatic resonance, or it may come up later on for you. I kind of feel like that's it. Oh, look at that. Hummingbird miracles under the deck. You are the joy bringer. What did I say about that delight card? You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. Now, isn't that incredible? I do want to look at the bottom of the deck. That's also gorgeous. Unicorn, infinite possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. Oh, that's beautiful. And because we have this watery influence, I do want one from this Whispers of the Ocean. All these decks are listed below. Yeah, and when I first flipped that unicorn card, I saw the butterflies. And butterfly can be just as powerful a totem as, let's say, the eagle coming to mind, or the bear. Each one has its strengths. And just as strength in general, we can look at how somebody can be physically powerful but weak of character, and vice versa. The same thing is true when we look at the strengths and weaknesses of the animal kingdom. And I know that there's another famous quote about if we were to gauge the strengths and aptitude of a fish by its ability to climb a tree or to fly through the air, then we'd be doing it a disservice. So it depends here. If you're somebody who resonates with having comparisons about, well, I'm too unique to fit in, or I'm not unique enough to make a difference or to stand out or to take the helm of something. This combination of the mythical, misunderstood, not even believing in the truth of the unicorn. You know, the masses are like, that's false evidence. And then the butterfly is overlooked. And then the hummingbird, rarely noticed by people who are very distracted and focused in on something very material or lost in ego. The hummingbird is very subtle and its energy is barely perceptible. It doesn't make a big noise, except some of them can create quite the hum of the wings. And it's shout out to my favorite YouTuber, Santero. Oh my gosh. Yesterday I was talking about the buzz in my head, and then she came up with a reading that was like the hum. And I'm hearing that and sensing that. So yeah, there's something that's like barely perceptible. It's operating right behind our perception. It's like we're focused this way, and something kind of tickles our sensitivity from just outside the peripheral view. Where you need to be under the deck here, 26. Acknowledge how you're feeling. Have faith in the miracles. I added that. Have faith in the universe, that the universe will take care of a current concern by providing the best possible outcome for all involved. And underneath the deck here, clearing the excess, 18, with the manta ray, the coral, or is that I think I see an urchin. You're entering a transitional phase and would benefit from clearing away excess clutter, whether it's in your physical body or your physical space. So maybe needing to do some type of cleansing rituals, whether that's purifying with the elementals, with water in a salt bath, or even just a regular shower. You can utilize those energies and cleanse and clear away, and ask that energy to not just go and be cast off, but to be transmuted into understanding or something like that, you know, whatever you're called to do. So I like these beings that are showing up, and I'm also seeing these behind this where you need to be. I don't know what this animal is. I wish that they would tell us that, but it looks like something that you wouldn't necessarily see. But these like little tendrils here, it's almost like, are those jellyfish or something like that? There's so much to be discovered and possibly this is something that's either too deep in the ocean or too small scale to have us recognize it or see it. Maybe one of you knows what this animal is, but to me, it's reminding me of this unicorn and the infinite possibilities by making those small incremental changes, if this is some microscopic organism or something. And also the incremental changes of cleansing and purifying through diet or stretching or even the breath work and the centering our thoughts and feelings by maybe even making a list. The term writing has been coming up quite a bit through other individuals that I've heard. The cards here, even in the post and pre-shuffles, the right card is on there. And that means like writing out. And I've also seen right order as in correction. So maybe by writing something out, by journaling, by recording dreams, by recording incidences that are troubling you now, not to hold on to that any type of negativity or anything, but maybe just to inventory something that it can be released from the top of your brain. If something is troubling us or too many multi steps to keep all in order, writing them down can be so great. And I know that there's some people who really struggle to keep their list, or like they've written 50 lists and then they can't find any of them and they have to rewrite or revise. We've all got phones and almost all of them have stored inside of them the opportunity to use your notepad, which check with your friends or your family members if this is something that you think you could do well to use, because most of us are so attached to our phone, at least on a weekly basis, if not on a daily or minute-to-minute basis, depending on who you are. And no judgment, but that's something that goes with you. So, you can write all of those things in there and then you always have it. And in a similar way, using your calendars and scheduling things. And I know these are mundane and it seems like, how can this be a spiritual reading? But putting things in, there's that lag time. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Bear with me. I don't mean to look like a kung fu movie. By writing things down and creating order for everything that comes through, things can find their place and then they're not obscuring the vision. Because the more mundane issues that are kind of occupying space and, occupying real estate in our brain, the less that we have the capacity to funnel our excessive energy into things that are creative and exciting and interesting. And this can be the difference sometimes between stress and being bogged down and completely drained and feeling, okay, I can set that aside. I've already written it down. My phone's going to remind me 24 hours in advance of that meeting. So there's no possible way that I won't see it coming, things like that. It's like by setting the mind at ease through these practical conveniences of our current advancements in technology, we can free ourselves up to transcend those on some level. For soul time under the deck. Okay, fertility came out yesterday, that growth, divine feminine and alchemy. It's the ability to be creative, to be co-creative, to be able to work with other individuals instead of being like, I don't know how to quite make this super simple, but it's like when we're overwhelmed and stressed, then we're more defensive about our ideas because any type of deviation from the expected can throw us off kilter and make us engage those, dig our heels in and want for that issue or the illusion of control over the circumstance. Like, I'm so out of control mentally or emotionally or in some direction or stressed out wise, any change knocks me off balance. So we're talking about freeing up our creative energy here for something that reinvigorates the soul and rejuvenates us deeply. Third eye chakra, yeah, clearing it up and clearing it out. Time to clean up, spring clean or fall clean up our mental space to create greater clarity for the time that's coming up. Because as we were talking recently, that upcoming April 20th of 2024, when we have the meeting of Uranus and Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, there's going to be, for many of us, some unexpected twists and turns and demands and exciting new changes if we are rested and have cleared our plate of some of the things that we've been working on and struggling to close out. Then the more that we can free ourselves up from our previous obligations, the more open our hearts and minds and hands are to embrace the new that's coming down the pipeline. So use your discernment, number 20, to sense what things are well in order, what things need to be written down or put on your calendar, and take some of those practical steps. And also this self-care that's evidenced here. And yeah, if you're also getting messages where you're like, well, I have no idea why I keep wanting to drive by this blah, blah, blah thing, or I don't know why I keep wanting to call such and such. Well, it doesn't matter why you're having those impulses. What matters is that, to an extent, certain people can call us in psychically and pull on our energies. That's one thing. And if that's somebody or some situation that doesn't serve, then definitely, yes, use your discernment and resist if you would like, and do some type of there are many types of magic and otherwise that we can do to stall or veil the connections that others would attempt to hook into us for lower reasons or attachment reasons that don't serve us. That's for another day. But using our discernment here to free up even those past contracts, like maybe writing things down that you would like to release and then burning that in a sacred fire with a full moon or a new moon cycle as you wish, or writing down those main base things that you'd like to move towards, and maybe just 3 to 5 steps that each one that you could take action steps now. I mean, don't think about the end of the thing, because if we plan for the end, we'll never be able to utilize that kind of information fully, because it's going to twist and turn, right? But if we can think about just a couple of actionable steps that will put us on course towards where we believe that we're best served to go, then we can be delighted that we're moving in a direction that will show us more as we go. And if it needs to change, then so be it, right? Yes, I knew magic would be coming out. We already heard it here. So yes, you're the joy bringer. And where was that magic? I think it was on the miracle card. Anyways, 31, magic, and 29, healing. Yeah, I think that our creative capacity here, we're being told that our creative energy at the base level is our magic. Whether you use that in such a way as the words that speak through you, the voice, the intonation, the music, the song, the dance, the movement and flow of energy through the pores of your skin, all of this creative energy of, everything is, and the vibe we hold, that's all evidence of our magic. It seeps through us at all times and it emanates from us, especially when we take time for self-care and the ability to receive and to utilize our chemical capacity to work with the flow of magnetism in our lives. And somehow water energy of the divine feminine is called in. So the feminine is generally water and earth. So it's like healing our magical capacity, healing our creative force and our ability to grow. It's kind of showing me that our ability to grow is sometimes intertwined and intermingled with our creative capacity. So our creativity is one way to use our magic and the soul force energy, the animating force energy coming through us. That creative energy is then, it's forming the self in turn. It's like as we use the flow of the waters through our body to affect and influence outer circumstance, the evidence in our awareness of the use of our magic both heals us and reshapes us in the form of our creations. We are sculpting the self through the use of our magical capacity. And I think that the miracle here is recognizing that our health and our well-being is largely within our hands. And I understand that many individuals are dealing with things that others are not. But take that message as you will. Under the deck, we still have the assistance card from yesterday, and I do shuffle these cards in between all readings. I do pre-shuffles and I do post-shuffles afterwards, and often I do another reading for myself following the readings for greater clarity. And if we get a good enough following here, enough individuals want it, I may publish the extended readings in the future, but for now, we're starting where we're at. Oh! You'll never guess which card popped out. Some of you will, you psychic ladies and gents. Right. There is something here about writing it down. And I don't think it's all that practical measure. Like one of my friends, speaking of health and well-being, she has some health complications that have been misdiagnosed. They've been victim shaming, like, oh, you're faking, oh, this isn't true, whatever. But, she's come into correspondence with other individuals who have these issues, and getting that confirmation, getting the support and the feedback that's going between them all. And she's been asked to write down her experiences, both for specialists when she gets to that point, as well as for recording her journey for someone else who's writing case studies out. And so, however this comes into your experience, writing here is part of your ability to receive healing and to utilize your creative depths in both your emotional and energetic expression to create the miracle of healing in your life. So meditate perhaps before and during while you're writing. And some of you also may benefit from free writing, where you just have nothing really that you're thinking of saying, but you just put the pen to paper and just start writing. Even if you have to start with, well, here we go, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I did today, and then just see what wants to come out. Where does the thought linger? Who comes to mind? And again, about if somebody is that you feel like you need to call or see or go somewhere, this is possibly sometimes magnetism of the resonance of opportunity, inviting us to come in. And as we listen to that inner voice of research this, what about this, go down this rabbit hole, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I've been wondering about such and such. Or the lyrics to a song, if you look at the lyrics, it puts a whole new spin on why we're compelled to listen or to hum to invoke the words that are coming through a song can be very powerful. To be like, why is that chorus line in my head? And then when we look at the lyrics, it's like, oh, I thought this song was about this other thing. Whatever. Union. This is us connecting with spirit, connecting with other individuals. We're leaving certain associations and coming together in new ways so that the next phase of the journey can be unlocked, so that we can approach the door that's about to open for us. It might look closed, but maybe it's going to open just as we reach for it. And then voila, there's the individual or the opportunity coming right at us that's like, oh, I've been looking for somebody who can help me with this and this, and I don't know where to go. And you're like, oh, well, I've been looking for someone to give that service to. Check. It's beautiful stuff here. And the more that we trust our magic and our magnetism, the more that our creative energy can help us to flow in the path of not always least resistance, but the best possible course with confidence. Confidence comes over magic besides soul time. And a couple more here. Oh, and underneath the deck, I hadn't looked at it yet. There's that Fearless card. Is this day 4 where Fearless has shown itself? And Right Order. That's the other card I was talking about. So I just want to have this for our little thumbnail. To right keeps things in right order. So it's like also with that, with the right card, have you ever looked how vibrations orient particles? Like you can put some sand on a plate above a speaker and put through it different types of magic, and it orients the particles in a certain way, and it creates these diagrams. And in the same way, you can look at water crystals. If you've ever looked at Dr. Masuri Emoto, I'm not sure I said the name correctly, but Dr. Emoto, a Japanese physicist, studied water. And if you've never looked at that, check it out. It's about the vibration that we put through something, such as fear, hate, love, hope, praise, rejection, just to name a couple. Sadness, depression, fear, loathing. Pick whatever you want to. Every time that they focused that energy on one ice crystal and then studied it under the microscope, they all took a specific, individual, unique shape. It's the vibrational resonance, that voice and matter and resonance, and that vibrational quality that you can feel when you speak, when you sing, coming through the chest, through the vessel, through the ethers, creating and forming matter. We can see it happening. If we need evidence, we can do those things. But just knowing that the body is water, knowing that the earth is water, knowing that our friends and our enemies and frenemies are all water, how can we help them to heal? By not diving into the low vibrations with them whenever possible. And there's a way to stand up for self with high vibrational resonance. And we've been talking about this all along. But by starting with the self, by keeping our own backyard in order, so to speak, by taking care of what we can take care of, then we'll be less compelled to see what everybody else is doing wrong. Once we have our stuff figured out, and, I'm hearing something about reducing our footprint, then we can stop supporting those big guys who are polluting environments by not leveraging our money and paying them to help ourselves to pollute something, right? If you don't stand for it, don't stand for it. It's just one thing. So anyways, one more here, and then I'm going to get us closing. Rejuvenation, we already talked about that. So this helps us to heal our energies, to approach things more fearlessly, moving through with the confidence, courage to know that everything that we do, every step that we take, every breath that we take is meaningful. Like the flap of the butterfly's wings, we can create exponential change across the earth, across the globe, in animals that we will never touch or know, because we're sending either fear or love at that base level, right? And I know it can sound cheesy, but this is why we go through sometimes the physics behind it. And I hope that you can understand and honor those messages, and how important it becomes when we know better to then do better. So, all right, this last one. And whenever I do get cut off on the oracles, then I'll put it in the description box below. Khadga number 9. And I may just put them both in there. And then here we have 28, Guhya Kali. So this is about self-liberation and healing and so many other things. So check the description box, because I'm going to get cut off here. But I will spend my time now reading this one. She wields the holy sword of divine severance, empowering the soul in radical letting go. She instills the courage to bear the pain of loss and the wisdom to realize the secret blessing that can only arise when we embrace change. Where our strength of will may falter, she intervenes to ensure that we do not sabotage our ultimate fulfillment and spiritual progress. She will not allow our souls to be ensnared in any kind of deception or trapped in fear. She is the liberator, and her sword clears the path, revealing truth. And the other one will be in the description box below. Check it out. They're all really deep and meaningful. But yeah, check back for other timeless messages, and let me know if you really enjoy the Daily Dharma and these code cards, or if you like the zodiac specific readings. We'll be getting into another round of those shortly here. Take care and check back soon for more. Bye.